They look almost human at times, don't they?
Aye. Sad, isn't it?
You like children, Les?
Not really. They're too much like adults for my taste.
I were a child once, you know.
Well, I suppose it made a change.
I wasn't very good at it, though. In one single year, I had mumps, measles, whooping cough, scarlet fever, suspected chicken pox, and 3 broken limbs.
Good God. And did you survive?
Oh, you should see me now.
You see what I mean? Just the same as adults. What a life us men lead. Out of the womb and straight into the vale of tears. I wonder what his excuse is.
Judging by the gloating looks on the faces, I'd say they'd just informed him of basic facts of life.
I wonder he's crying, poor little devil. He's far too young to know that men button their coats a different side to women.
Sure they'll be very happy. That's all you can wish for. Well, I'll be hearing from you.
Hey up, Mort. Look at Carter's face.
You don't suppose they've just informed him of basic facts of life, do you?
I reckon they've just told him he's buying that house.
He must be sickening for something. Fancy buying a house next door to your mother-in-law. Must have had a brainstorm.
No, there's no room in his brain for a storm. All he's got room for there is outbreaks of localised drizzle.
And look at woman he's buying it from. I reckon that face is a classic case of unprovoked ugliness.
That sort of mouth he could melt ball bearings in. Still, she was probably quite good looking before she moved in next door to Carter's mother-in-law.
Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, love. Goodbye. Mind the ramp as you go along. Well, can't go wrong with it. Oh, right.
Well then, Carter, tell him the good news.
What good news?
About the house.
Oh, that. We've just bought the house next door to Pat's mother. Isn't it exciting?
Fantastic. Now we go for a pint to commiserate.
You'll do no such thing. You'll come back with us in car. Mrs. Partington's stopping to tea, so we may as well make it a real celebration with boiled ham and fancies. Well, come on, Carter, show a bit of enthusiasm. Don't stand there slouching. And you men, take your dirty elbows off that car. I'll not have Carter living in this neighbourhood with dirty marks all over the roof of his car. Well, come on, shift yourselves.
You think he'd budge over and let us join him?
Honestly, Mrs. Brandon, when Pat moves into that house next to me, she'll have it looking spotless, immaculate. Am I right? Of course I am. You see, she were always top in her class in domestic science. She got a distinction in baked beans and highly recommended in dusting.
Mother!
Now, don't look at me in that tone of voice, young lady. I told you before about hiding your light under a bushel. My late husband, he were a devil for hiding his light under a bushel, Mrs. Brandon. Do you know, he hid it for so long that when he finally found it, he forgot how to use it.
Mother, please.
And another thing, Pat, I hope you're not thinking of having any babies.
Beg your pardon?
That's one thing I can't abide, Mrs. Brandon, is neighbours with young babies. They keep you up all night with their wailing and howling, and the babies can make a devil of a fuss, too. Am I right? Of course I am. So that's rule number 1, Pat. If you're thinking of having babies, wait while they're grown up. And rule number 2 is make sure you don't get a Welsh milkman.
Welsh milkman?
Exactly, you've hit the nail on the head. You see, Pat, there is nothing worse in this world than being woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning with a Welsh milkman singing at the top of his voice there's a gold mine in the sky. I don't mind the sound of his milk bottles, Mrs. Brandon. It's the sound of his tuning fork I can't abide.